All right, guys, let's get right into it. We got Ohio State versus Tennessee today. Uh-oh. We know what happens when Ohio State plays SEC schools. Let's not act like we don't know what happens when Ohio State plays SEC schools. We saw it in those national championships back in the day against Florida. Every time Ohio State plays an SEC school, they lose. They lose. I'll say it again. Every time Ohio State plays an SEC school, they lose. It's just crazy. What up, guys? It's Bias Sports here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. It'd be greatly appreciated. Back to it. Yeah, they can't beat the SEC. It's just not their thing, you know. There's a speed difference. I think there might be a little bit of a size difference, but I think Ohio State on the defensive line, has a little bit of a size advantage, but not really. When you look at it, let's look at Ohio State. Their offensive line has struggled this year because they had injuries. And what is the strength of Tennessee? Their defensive line. What else has struggled at times for Ohio State? Their run defense. What is the strength of Tennessee? Oh, their running game, their running back. They have a star defensive end and a star running back. I say that spells trouble for Ohio State. But on the other end, Ohio State does have a good running game, a good passing game, that can always go off at any time. But we have to remember this too, guys. Will Howard's a transfer from the SEC. So Tennessee has played him multiple years. Tennessee coaches and defensive coordinators, they have a lot of tape on him. They know him. They know this guy. Yeah, he's in a different scheme, but he's still the same quarterback. And one thing we know about him is that he's turnover prone. We've seen it. He's turnover prone. Now, I can't just give all negatives to Ohio State. There's some negatives for Tennessee. One, the quarterback's young. This is his first playoff game, his biggest game in his career so far. In the other big games this year on the road, he's 0-2. He lost to Georgia. So we'll see. He beat, Alabama, Kentucky. Where's the big win? But you can say the same for Ohio State. Where's the big win? What is it, Indiana? But that's the thing with Tennessee. They don't have the best road record this year. But we'll see if they can overcome that, I like that the playoff format has these teams playing at their home field. I think it makes it way more exciting. And yesterday, when Notre Dame just completely destroyed Indiana, they were the home field team. I feel like that might play a big part. But you never know, You never know. With college football, things are unpredictable. Home field advantage definitely is an advantage. But you never know. I know that it'll be cold today in Columbus. Gets cold in Tennessee. They're not that far away from each other. So that shouldn't be a factor. Both teams should be ready to play in some cold weather today. But also another thing I don't like, it might sound like I just hate Ohio State. I'm definitely not the biggest fan of Ohio State, never been, is their coach, Ryan Day. It's time, Ryan Day. I think Ryan Day, when he loses today, I think that his career is over at Ohio State. I think they find someone else. I think the perfect replacement would be Mike Vrabel, bring in some physicality. You've lost to Michigan all these years because you're not physical enough, and now you're going against the SEC, the most physical league in college football with all the NFL players. Let's see what happens, Ryan Day. Can you beat a big team? Can you win the big one? We haven't seen it. We also don't see Ohio State having a good record against the SEC. So you have all the chips stacked against you. The only thing that your advantage is, you're at home. But you just came off a huge loss to your rival. That's a wake up call, you know. I think Tennessee's coming off a big win their last game of the season, and I think they're coming off more momentum than Ohio State. Um, I just don't see Ohio State has that much momentum besides being at home. It's a playoff game and first in the new format. But making the playoffs isn't a big deal to Ohio State. They're used to it. This is the first time Tennessee's been in the playoffs or like national title hunt in a long time. So to me, it'll mean more to them. And I feel like that effort's going to show. We're going to see them flying around. We're going to see them making plays. I can't say that I see this as a blowout because Ohio State is so talented offensively that I just believe, they can find a way to stick in it, stick close. And, of course, their defense is talented, number one in the nation, but that's against Big Ten schools, against, I formation, against to me, they didn't really play anyone. And then when they did, they lost. Oh, they beat Indiana. We saw Indiana wasn't good. So my prediction is I'm going to go 28-21 Tennessee. I'll say that again, 28-21 Tennessee. I put money on Tennessee today to pull the upset. I like to put a couple bucks on some of these college games sometimes. Just to put my money where my mouth is, because when you're out here making predictions, you got to back it up somehow. So usually when I make these predictions, win or lose, I actually win or lose because I'll put some money on it. So we'll see what happens today in Columbus, but I think that Tennessee gets it done. SEC over Big Ten. Ryan Day does what Ryan Day does. Loses the big game. What can we see that's different that shows it'll be different this time? Nothing. I haven't seen anything to show me it's going to be different this time. Tennessee, y'all got to prove it to me too, man. I'm just riding off that y'all are in the SEC and that y'all got, a good running game and a good defensive line. And that Ohio State really hasn't looked that impressive. They got into the playoffs because of their record, but like that last game against Michigan, that was horrific. That was horrible to watch. Like, hopefully they come out as a completely different team than that game. Because if they come out as that team that played Michigan, they will get blown out today. They will get blown out today. In Tennessee, if you come out as that team against Georgia, you're going to be in some trouble. You're going to be in some trouble. I don't think you'll get blown out. No, you could get blown out too, honestly. You could get blown out too. But I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think it'll be a close game. I think Tennessee is going to show why the SEC is the best conference, even though everybody says, stop letting SEC teams in. They're not going to win the championship. And then they always do. Like, come on, let's just be real. And then Ohio State, they struggle against the SEC. They ended the year struggling. So I just can't pick them. Let's hope that Tennessee can follow through, have a strong physical game, because I predicted them to win, put some money on them. All right, guys, this is Bias Sports with another Bias Take. I'm out.